And literally, this guy would say, if you ain't shooting a three, you ain't trying to win. But the problem is you don't have a 3-point shooting team. So you have to utilize your team of what you got. You can't turn them into something that they not. You got to look at what you got and then add to what you have to get to what you want to be.
Right.
But you can't just say, I want to shoot threes, and now everybody shoot threes.
That ain't shooters.
And that's why
Absolutely.
it didn't materialize into wins on a bigger stage.
Right.
This is why I criticize all coaches at a high level on what you have and what you produce.
Yeah.
Now, if I give you the best tool in the game, I expect for you to be 500 or better like that. And I say that with a Hall of Fame player, a Hall of Fame quarterback. Hall of Fame quarterback will give you 500 ball every year, even if your defense stink.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we can look at it and see.
Yeah, we see
So
that.
if you get a little defense on them, put that defense in the top 10, you win the chip.
Yeah,
or knocking
close
on
to
the
it.
door every time. Now, if you don't got the Hall of Fame quarterback, your best thing to do is go and get you a top 5 defense.
Yeah, you got to do the opposite.
So go ahead. It's because it's easy to build a defense than trying to roll the dice and try to get the quarterback that's coming out.
Oh, right.
Because you ain't in a position to get him. A lot of times you might be at 15, 20 spot.
Yeah.
So you ain't getting that
You
guy.
ain't getting that guy.
So
You got to give up too much to get him.
but and that's just me, Johnny, on the sitting down, coming up with that's just what the league is.
Yep.
But I'm not in the war room like you said, D. What goes on behind closed doors would have us scratching our head like, what y'all doing?
Like if you want to get some kind of understanding of what goes on, and of course you're not going to get the full story because it's a movie and it's entertainment, but you can get some type of idea of just about everything that we just broke down for you here about that draft room. Watch the movie with Kevin Costner. Watch Draft Day, and you'll get an idea. Like I said, you won't get the full picture because copyright infringement and all that kind of stuff, NFL and their privacy issues and all that. But you will get a very good idea of a lot of the stuff that we just brought to you and what we were just talking about, what goes on in those war rooms. You will definitely get that. So before we take our next break, we got to talk about Sunday Night Football. Tampa Bay.
That was a big
And
letdown
Seattle.
from the fan standpoint.
That's right. And
I had my popcorn ready, and guess what? I went
like
to
we
sleep.
said earlier.
Half a bag
was
popcorn, or did you finish the
looked at
popcorn?
this, you look at this week 9 schedule, and like I said, you look at all the other games, and you're like, oh, all right, that might be a good game, yeah. All right, yeah, ooh, that one might be okay too. Then you look and you like, oh, Sunday night
On all levels.
Tampa Bay,
Record,
New
they was
Orleans.
good. Quarterback,
Absolutely.
fantasy
All the way
football,
across the
everything.
board. And in some cases, if you were betting, some people might say, that's a game to stay away from.
What was the spread? I don't remember.
I'm not sure, but like you just said, all the way across the board, both teams got winning records. Both teams got top flight quarterbacks. They got top flight receivers. They got a top flight running back. And you're gonna talk about the return of Antonio Brown in a little bit too. But you look at that game, like I said, and you think to yourself, oh, this is gonna be a good one. And like Jay just said, it's not real good for the fans.
Nope. Horrible for the fans. It's a great game if you're a Brady basher and you believe he's washed.
That's right.
Because everything added up to
everything
why
added up to that.
To all right, everything that they put around him, and they clearly putting everything around him enough to go out on a limb and listen to his request to bring A. Brown in. Because that's the only reason he's there.
Oh yeah.
The coach even like
Yeah, we had a whole
I mean he just standing there waiting like like an angry old woman like just ready.
What's going on, homie?
And you know what's crazy too about that? When you watch that game again, go back and see how Lattimore was locking old boy down.
Who, Evans?
Took him out of it.
Well, they have a history though.
They got a whole
They got a whole
history.
history.
But listen,
And like you just
not only so much.
So wait a minute, he because I didn't watch a lot of the
I
games.
didn't hear his game much
And
at all.
because they
last night.
moved
By the first
Evans
half,
in the slot.
he was thrown to twice. Didn't have a catch. By the third quarter, he had a couple catches underneath. They get bombed now, so it was like.
But honestly, only because of fantasy has tightened up my knowledge on certain players.
Well, their defense was that.
Evans hasn't really been doing consistent.
No, he hasn't been.
Right. In the last 3 games, he probably got about 8 catches.
Listen, we know there's a consistency thing there.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
he is considered their number one guy.
Yes.
Yep.
And so the one thing that Latimer said is when I take it personal against every single team's number one guy.
Yep.
And so when you got a guy that's willing to take that personal, he ain't worried about if he messed up because he digging down. He want to prove that he's this type of guy.
Yeah.
He's a top 10. He wants to prove he's a top 10 CB in the league.
Mm-hmm.
On top of their history.
On top of their history.
Yeah.
The history ain't nothing but a little salt and pepper, a little extra seasoning on top of that.
Ain't nothing missing but a chain snack.
That's
the only thing that was missing from their relationship. You know what I mean?
And so when you going to look forward to seeing that matchup again.
But here's the thing that may took the coaching out of it. The hype.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 2 quarterback Hall of Famers, right?
Yep.
You know how many times they rushed the ball last night? They broke a record last night. 5 rushes.
Yeah,
and one of them was a kneel down at the end of the game. So you had 4 rushes
The entire game.
the entire game.
Yep.
So who bought into the hype?
Well, we know who bought into the hype.
We absolutely know. Yeah.
We know who bought into
Yeah,
that.
they showed they hand real good.
Real good. And the kick about that whole thing, man, I mean, when you look at it, the Saints defense was really getting at it.
Yeah.
They was getting
That's
that.
an understatement.
They was getting that from the rip. I'm talking about from the rip.
Yep, from the
That
very
1, 2,
beginning.
3 out, they was getting at it. I think that the Saints didn't punt until the third quarter.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Was their first punt.
because they gave the ball over at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm sorry. That was a flash. I'm flashback with the Raiders game.
Right.
When they turned the ball over at that
Right
before the half, where you had one of the linemen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you seen his body language, he was like, "What are y'all doing?
Yeah, what y'all doing?
It's 10 seconds. Why are we throwing the ball on our 30 or whatever?"
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Old school football, and the great. This is one of my run-on jokes with Richie Kotite. The safe bet Richie K would take the field goal or sit kneel, and they're Richie K, but was that era though? Is what I'm saying is you take the 3 points.
Yeah.
You even if you got 3 timeouts, but you're up and it's 20 seconds.
Take that 3 points.
You kneel and go to the locker room, right? But no, not today, because a lot of these coaches are in the hype.
Absolutely.
Hey man, you got 3 timeouts. It's 40. It's 25 seconds. What's worse can happen? Well, you get sacked.
Yeah, you get sacked.
turnover, and they kick the field goal.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Or how many times do we see these teams going for it in their own backyard?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's Madden. You know, that's old Madden
That's
stuff.
what they do.
You punt the ball? No, we don't punt it. Or fake the punt. Like, wait a
Doug
minute.
Peterson. And I'm an Eagles fan, but Doug Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? What's the fundamentals of football that I remember? What, you going for it
Absolutely.
on your own 25?
Yep.
And the game is still in the second quarter, third quarter.
Yeah.
Difference of 10, 13 points. What are you doing? What are you doing?
A lot of
Now that happened in that Pittsburgh game.
I was
The
just
Dallas
sitting there
game?
thinking that. Yeah.
The Pittsburgh game was Pittsburgh went for it on the 4th. They knew they wasn't gonna get it, but it kept them 80 yards away.
Yeah.
They went for it on their own.
It was just like a
but
punt.
it
It was more.
Yeah,
of
it
a
was
punt,
basically a
so,
punt.
yeah.
But
which was smart
But
football.
Yeah, that was smart football.
Right.
It was smart football in the sense that now you got to go 80 yards in 38 seconds.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You know what I mean? That's tactical in its own right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But that kind of like shaved about 45 seconds off the clock because if they punt it, they getting the ball back. It's like a minute plus.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
the way that the teams move the ball now it's before a 21-3 lead 20 years ago.
It's over.
30,
It's over.
The game,
Game
you looking
over,
at it,
yeah.
you flipping. You're like, it's over.
I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
looking,
over.
waiting to see when they gonna
Well,
pull the trigger.
because running the ball was more of a tune
Right.
then than it is
So
now.
so you looking at potential possessions now if you're an analytic guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna get at least 4 or 5 more possessions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so out of that we can probably get 3 more scores, so that's 21 points.
Yeah.
I'm doing the math like that.
That's like Tony Romo was saying in that Dallas game. He's saying like, you know, at one point when Dallas could have came back or whatever, or started to come back late in I think the half or whatever, he's like, you got to throw everything outside the numbers so you can go to the sideline. And he's like, yeah, you know, you throw those 10 and out plays, you march down the field. He said those plays only take about 3 seconds. You save a timeout, you get the time on the clock, and you get closer. Then you have your opportunities with 7 to 10 seconds to take 1 or 2 deep shots into the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but like you said, that's the way the NFL now is set up, where the analytics are going to say, you got 1 minute and 30, 1 timeout,
Yep.
everything's to the sideline. Make sure you get out of bounds. You're going to march down the field, and at worst, we're going to get in field goal range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
Don't get what was the Todd Gurley play? Remember a few weeks ago?
Oh yeah.
Where they were saying don't score.
Mhm.
We run the clock out and kick the field goal.
And kick the field goal.
I think it was kick the field. Back in the 20 years ago, I hate to keep beating on it. That was a win. It was an automatic win. You just snap your fingers. That now turned to a loss.
Absolutely.
It definitely turned to a loss.
Turn into a loss.
And that should get coaches fired. Honestly.
Well, you know, sometimes coaches are
Bring
saved.
Cat back.
Sometimes coaches are saved, yeah. And the only,
Viva Kaepernick.
and the only right that they have the system, and maybe it's the GM that didn't get the right guy. The GM didn't listen to the coach. So, you know, they go a whole lot of different ways.
And then we go back to the politics.
Absolutely.
Firing a guy is a bad look for me. I brought you in.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
we get balled
So
another
I
week.
can't fire you now. Yeah, I got to give him another week or two.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
And in this world that
And
we
in a
live,
week or two, I'm in my office.
he's
open here.
He got to go. But
Okay, that's. I don't know if I want that, but he gonna get fired too. Maybe I can slide over there.
Hey, Ball, look, you got 2 weeks,
yeah,
bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, more in my head, I'm saying, you got 2 weeks to get this right. But in my head, I'm saying, you got 2 weeks to
But the
keep
entertainment
both of us
value-
or get both
or
of us
get
fired.
the entertainment value now is watching you come up with excuses on why you ain't firing it.
Absolutely.
Because you ain't gonna tell you're not gonna everybody
tell
else.
No doubt. No doubt.
That's just like the Republican Party. I hate to
absolutely.
shout out politics, but that's their guy.
Yep.
They not gonna kick a hole in him because he wanted theirs. So it's a reflect onto them, no matter how bad.
No matter
how bad he is.
No matter
I
how bad.
can't.
Absolutely.
I gotta save face and not kick his back out because it's ultimately defacing me.
Reflection on you. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, folks, it is now 12:12. We're going to take another quick break. You had some great dialogue so far. Shout out to everybody that has been tuned in. I'm going to give some names out here just so everybody can be acknowledged, as we always do. Right now, we got George Santos, my guy. Carlos the Enforcer Jackson, right now tuning in. We had Leah Rizzoldi, Henry Denby, Curtis Bryant, Charles Chucky Morgan, James Blaylock. There was a Nile, too. I don't remember if it was Nile Jones or Nile James, but Nile, you are acknowledged. Also, we had the boss lady tuned in, Monica, Simply Monica.
Yo, Mo.
I tried to pull you in. I don't know what's going on with the system.
You better
or
get on
maybe-
up.
Then I looked and saw that you started a watch party, so that's great, and we definitely appreciate you for that. Also, my Aunt Renee, my cousin Teron, and the missus earlier chimed in and gave us a good love.
What's up,
for
ho?
the video. So before we take this break, we're going to run through our picks for week 10. And we're going to take a break. Then when we come back, we're going to get into some NBA talk and some Sixers talk. So, we're going to have a 3-headed monster here this week.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to pull Jay into this.
Oh,
The
go ahead.
guru. All
The
right?
guru.
We're going to pull Jay into
I'm good
this.
at picking losers, so you do what
Hey,
you need to
listen.
do.
So, folks, you know how this goes. We give you our picks on air for the upcoming week. The schedule will go up tomorrow. You know how it goes. You have until Thursday, 4, maybe 5 p.m. to get your picks in. All right? You know what we tell you. Screenshot it. Check your picks off. If you list them just by typing them in, please go in order of the schedule so we can easily keep track of your wins and losses accordingly. Also, you know there is a prize. That Tiffany Singleton who won. Baldy had somebody that won twice. So, You know what to do. You can get lunch on us. All right? It's not much, but we appreciate the support and we appreciate the appreciation. So that's something that Baldy came up with, and I went along with it as perfect team member, partner. We want to give you lunch on us.
Get a little JBQ.
Yeah,
Get a
listen,
little JBQ.
see? And y'all just heard it, JBQ. And Boss Lady, I know you saw the picture of the brisket. He will be back. He said he wants to come back. So after the show, we gonna get him. We know how to get in touch with him.
that order.
We got Baldy in him. He can do chicken.
Get this
some more
sauce.
brisket. You gotta get some sauce.
Let me tell you about this. I'm
Again,
gonna wait.
I'm gonna show you the t-shirt, Boss Lady, because he did his proper.
Yes.
Baldy has his on.
I'm wearing mine. I gotta
with me.
represent my guy, class
Right.
of
So he
'93.
did his proper.
A good year.
So,
a good year.
I'm guessing, Boss Lady, you probably need an extra large. I'm sure you'll type in or text me later on, let me know what you need. We will definitely tell you when Jay is back. We're definitely gonna get him back here on Sports Rap. We gonna have to push him off and get him up here on the morning rush. One day we gonna have to talk him into getting up early to come in on the morning rush because we know
He
y'all
be up anyway.
Cause y'all at 9 in the morning.
Might
So
be
we,
cooking.
we can definitely work that out for you.
I ain't know.
So we move into week 10. This Thursday, the Colts at the Titans. I like Tennessee.
I'm gonna take Tenny. What you got, Joe?
Well, Tennessee, did they just win?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Colts lost ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Give me the Colts.
All right.
Going with the Colts. All right. You got some help up here, Jules, if you still tuned in.
Yeah.
You
Y'all
know
got
he
some
is.
help. All right, then we move into Sunday's games. The Texans at the Browns.
Browns coming off a bye.
Coming off a bye.
Is you
No Odell.
think, you
Still
think
got
he's
Travis.
playing better without Odell?
Jarvis. I don't know. I'm still not completely sold on Baker yet.
himself?
Yeah. And again, I say this a lot. It's no disrespect to the football player, but for me, and me only right now, just still not completely sold. I just have the gut feeling, or the feeling watching him, that he tries to accentuate or amplify his swagger. I know he has his swagger because I've seen him play at Oklahoma. I've seen things that he can do in the NFL now. You got to just ride with that. You can't push it too much because then that makes you look a little different than what you are, in my opinion. You got the swag. We know you got it. Just let it flow. You know, let it be you.
The game
you.
come to him. All
So
right.
yeah, with that, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the Texans there.
I'm gonna go Cleveland only because it looks like probably David Johnson in concussion protocol. He probably might not play. When I saw him with Duke Johnson, I mean they didn't have a run game anyway, but David Johnson was pass protecting and he was a threat. Defensively, they both stink, but they got equally one guy,
Yep.
J.J. Watt and Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
So I'm still gonna go, and then I'm coming off a bye week, and he's had a good win. So we're gonna go with Cleveland.
I'm gonna go with Cleveland. I gave it to Cleveland.
Cool. The Washington football team at the Detroit Lions.
I'm going with Detroit, even though Detroit.
Stafford's probably he got knocked out, right? I think he is.
You hear that, Trost? Even though your Detroit Lions stink, I'm going with you.
I'm not sure what his injury was,
Right.
but I don't know if he got a concussion. Stafford, he got knocked out. He didn't.
Yeah, he did
They
get
did get knocked out.
So if he doesn't play, they don't have a shot. They
Who
don't
you
have
picking?
Opposite. I don't.
You going with the Lions?
I'm going. Actually, you know what? Screw Alex.
Detroit.
I don't even like Alex. I can't. Yeah,
Detroit?
great story. Give me Detroit. Give me Detroit.
I'm still
I was there with
kind of
Detroit.
crazy at the fact
Because-
that man is playing. For
I
Absolutely.
know you want to root for him,
Yeah,
but he
absolutely.
still has showed me that he can lose the
Sure
game.
He's who he is.
Like I said, yeah. And their defense is good. Washington football, their defense is pretty alright. They're pretty good.
But man, they
it's their
can't.
offense.
They can't push the ball.
They can't do nothing.
Nothing, yo.
Nothing.
It's a terrible game to watch.
Absolutely. Next up, the Jags at the Packers.
I'm taking Green Bay.
And you know my old man, my boy.
I'm saying
Discount
Green
double
Bay.
check.
That's a double-digit spread right there.
Yeah, Green Bay's unanimous favorite for us.
Absolutely. The Eagles and the G-Men. Eagles coming off a bye. They're
I'm
usually
taking the
good
Eagles.
coming off a bye.
I'm taking the
Giants
Birds.
coming off a win.
Taking the Birds.
One thing there,
Just because they coming off that
Yeah.
bye and they got a chance.
one
to
thing
rest a
there
little
is,
bit.
even though I criticized Doug Peterson on some of his play calling in
You
game.
should.
Oh, definitely. I'm an
Play
Eagles fan.
calling.
I'm a true fan. I'm gonna
It's
keep it
play
real. I'm
calling
keep it
is,
100. Absolutely.
They miss Frank.
But I do know that they are usually prepared coming off of a bye. Usually. And we'll see what happens
Yeah, that's true.
there.
on top of the
And-
G-Men stink.
Yeah, and the Giants are not anything.
They didn't win
And
that
they're
last
getting-
game.
Right.
That was
they're
given to
getting, and the Eagles are getting Miles Sanders back, supposedly, and we might see the debut of Alshon Jeffrey.
Who?
So,
Who's that?
yeah, that dude. That dude.
Jeffrey?
Yeah, that dude.
Jeffrey.
So
The
I'm
giraffe?
Going, yeah, I'm going with the Eagles.
From the Fresh Prince. The Butler.
So we got another unanimous there, right, with the Eagles, the Steelers, and the Bengals. Steelers are back at home.
Man, the Steelers looked bad.
Struggled last week.
But, you know, they're
I
a good
think-
team, and if you
Well,
win, it's a good team.
They'll look
Yeah.
at them and bounce back.
And
And
you
their
got-
coach.
Yeah, and you got to find out whether or not that injury to Ben
Ben
Roethlisberger
Roethlisberger, how
was
serious that
something.
is, right?
Yeah, but
But
he
I-
plays his best ball
Yeah.
when he put on the show.
Absolutely.
He come out on
And-
his wink.
And I did notice the communication, and it felt like, or it looked like, the trust between coach and quarterback. When they were going off at halftime, Ben came right off the field after that they scored that touchdown.
Yep.
Came right off, and he went right to Mike. He said, "Look, something ain't right. I'm going in. I'm going in now. And we got some time left, but I'll see y'all when y'all get in." And it was like got you, because I'm probably going to tell you to take your behind in there anyway. So I like that mutual respect to them. So I'm going Steelers. So we
Might
got
as well, they
another-
might well bring Byron Leftwich back.
he busy coaching.
He coaching. He definitely calling plays.
So
Doing pretty good.
coming
Actually,
off of
not
a
doing
loss, coming off of a shellacking, you got the Bucks going into Carolina to play the Panthers.
bad. They have to win this. The Bucks. They have to,
I think
or at least play well enough. But if they play well, they'll win because for some reason their defense just didn't show up.
Right.
They probably just showed up to Tampa yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
but the game was over.
Yeah, basically.
But
Yeah.
to come off, they should have just got shut out. That
Right.
when they kicked that field goal right at the
Yeah,
very end,
yeah.
just so they wouldn't be shut out.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a very bad look. You brought in A. Brown
Yep.
to help your offense, and you can call it what you want. You can argue, but you didn't score a touchdown.
At all.
And you forced Brown in where anybody else would have had to work up their reps. You know, might have seen one or two. No, you plugged him in, and you expected it to help your offense, and it did not.
It didn't.
Whether it be
Right.
Saints
No.
or whatever, but
That's right.
but I think they have to come back strong, and they got more to prove than
Yeah, I think so.
than the other team. So
Yeah, I
I
think
take
so
the Bucks
as
with
well.
that one.
Yep, I'm going with the Bucks there too.
What you got?
Is
I
this
said
your,
TB.
oh, you said TB?
Mm-hmm.
Broncos at the Raiders. That's a tough one there.
Denver actually isn't as bad as they appear.
Right.
No,
I can agree with that.
they compete.
They do compete.
Yeah, I can go along
But
with that.
Raiders came off of as an emotional win because they
Mhm.
easily could have just lost that game,
Yep.
which they should have. But
Mm-hmm.
they won, and you know when it's division games, you really can't.
Right.
You can't really call it, and if it's competitive,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
true.
I mean, I'm gonna still take the Raiders, but that's a toss up.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
toss
that's
up.
a toss-up game.
That is a big toss.
It's probably a pick 'em on the
Yep.
spread. So.
Yep. So I'm gonna pick somebody. I'm gonna pick the Raiders at home. Although I don't really like the Raiders, I'm gonna pick the Raiders at home, just because they're home.
Yeah. Well, ain't no fan influence no more.
Yeah, no
We
fan
can't-
None
we
at
can't-
all.
We can't
None
even
at
use
all.
the home
Right.
spread account.
Ain't no
Right.
home field advantage in that.
Yeah. Well, I know who Jay's picking in this next game, so I'm just gonna go ahead
Maybe
and
not.
mark that
Maybe
down
not.
right now.
Who we playing? Who we playing next week?
We got the Jets at the Dolphins.
I mean, we on a roll.
I'm
Why
giving
not?
it to Miami.
I
I'm
mean,
going
Tua.
with the Dolphins too.
I wasn't happy with Tua's first start. I didn't think he played well. The defense rallied. The team rallied behind him. So it wasn't really a true gauge. Yesterday was a good gauge on watching him finally roll out, see the accurate throws, to really just let him cut loose.
Yep.
And he definitely showed and you see why they bench Fitzpatrick, because I watch a lot of. They still can't run the ball effectively. I don't care what you say. You can look at him. It's probably under 3.5 yards a carry easily without even looking at it. But with that being said, to see, they knew that. They knew that Fitzpatrick can't.
Right.
They in trouble. They can't run the ball. They see in practice that just Joker can bootleg and roll out.
Yeah.
So our 3 and outs now turn to moving the chain.
Yep.
And that's why they really pulled the trigger and saying, well, get him in now, because we gotta. What I think they were 3-3 at the time, right?
Yeah.
They were 500, and a lot of people. I questioned it right off the rip. I'm like, man, you in the hunt? Why would you rest him? But then you know that it ain't like you got a strong running game that can carry an old quarterback that you need him just at the end.
Yeah.
No. Get him in there now. He can make the play. He can make the throws that Fitzpatrick making, but he also now he can make the runs that Fitzpatrick cannot. Yeah. So that's the reason he's in there, and he looks good. Finally, something to root for. Dolphin quarterback wise, it's been a long time.
It's been a long
since
time.
Chad Pennington, and I was a big Chad Pennington fan because of his accuracy and his leadership. But this guy's accuracy is just as good.
Yep.
So I take the Dolphins in there. The Jets suck.
Got the Bills and the Cards.
Where are we at? Well, who's home?
They're in Arizona.
On the road, Buffalo. They
I'm
going
to
win.
With the Bills.
Arizona coming off of
Good
loss.
defense.
Yeah.
Defense
Buffalo
is
rolling
defense,
right now.
man.
Buffalo look good.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Allen is balling.
And Josh Allen is playing a lot better right now.
I mean, I give the slight edge to Buff, too. But what do I know?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sitting here as a guest.
Division game. Excuse me. Division game. Seahawks at the Rams. Seahawks coming off a loss.
And a bye.
I'm taking the Rams.
Seahawks cannot stop
Nobody. And like Pete Carroll said, I don't even know who this defense is.
Yep.
They're giving up so many yards. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is a tough one, too.
They got to be last.
I'm going to push the envelope on this one. I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
You just going off the strength of
I'm just
Russ
pushing-
and
well,
his 2 receivers.
Not so much that. That's a big part of it. But I'm also going off the fact that it's a division game. And it's just going to be a game. It's going to almost look like the Seahawks didn't lose the week before. Just because it's a division game. And I just mean that, like I said, the way they're going to play. Division game.
Yeah.
So,
well, you're not wrong because it's a division game. So
absolutely.
Either way you can go. I'm looking at the Rams because our Dolphins beat them, but the defense beat the Rams.
And I got to be in a tight game, too.
And so you got a team with one that's got at least a resemblance of a defense. If Ramsey, if he plays, right? So now you can say, all right, we take away Metcalf, or because that's who you're going to play besides Lockett. So now you look, they can't stop nobody, and you worried about just Russell and Lockett beating you.
Yep.
Where a team that can't stop nobody.
Nobody.
And that's when golf is at best. When you can't rush him, and you can't get to him, he looks like that top pick.
He can die.
But the minute you get up on him, he's done.
He's done.
So I'm going to have to go with the Rams on
Rams.
Cool. I'm going with the Rammies.
49ers at the Saints.
Oh, you know I'm going with the Niners. Saints.
Getting buried
Listen,
too.
man.
I'm throw some dirt on you too.
Y'all got some injuries there, so I'm going with the Saints, man.
See, that would be Frank. Frank would say, but if four of the guys that got hurt is going to play, we got a chance.
But we know they're not playing.
Cut it out. Frank is over.
We already know they're not playing.
Frank,
that's easy.
You and I had this conversation, and the conversation was, first of all, you rolled the dice last year and given the record that they were going to be. I thought we were going to be 8-8. We surpassed all that.
Yes, indeed.
Like nobody had us in that mix the way we were.
Nope.
Nobody. You can't pay me nobody that had us that high up to be 13-3. Especially given what we were the year before. Yep. So in saying all that, at the end of the day, this team is going to go through. I'll be shocked if we make 500. I'll be shocked if we make 500.
Yeah, I'll be shocked too.
Because the strength of our, we're last in the division.
What's your record now?
Well, we're 5 and
Y'all got
4.
Stand
I ain't got
up,
that many
man.
wins.
No, I'm telling you,
Y'all
we're
got 5 wins? No.
4
it's
wins.
four.
4
Yeah, it's
wins.
It's all
4
downhill
wins.
from here though.
We're 4 wins. We're 500, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I got y'all 7 and 9.
1 game below it.
Yeah, because we just lost.
I got y'all 7 and 9 at best.
Wow.
Only because of the injuries, how y'all it's tearing y'all up.
Yep.
And I mean, even if you got guys
Injuries.
come back, there's no rhythm.
Right.
There's no
Yeah,
flow.
we're
And
4
then
and
it's
5.
already probably some other games
Yeah.
mixed in there. before
We're
they
4
come
and
back.
5, and you take the NFC period.
Mhm.
The NFC, the Eagles are 3 and 4.
Mhm.
So you're looking at a division with us that you got 4 and 5, 5 and 3, 5 and 3, 6 and 2. If we break even, that's good, but we still gotta play them again.
Yep.
Right. I just
You know what I mean?
don't
So
think y'all can
I
overcome
don't see
Yeah.
any of that coming. Ain't no
Plus,
comeback from
plus,
that.
I mean,
Absolutely.
mentally and physically, y'all got to pass already.
Mhm.
In that locker room, you could go and sit down and say, because the media is constantly reminding you, everybody's reminding you why you lost. So
Listen.
you're not pissed off.
We are 4 and 5. The only teams I think that we would possibly beat, Washington. You probably can beat Dallas. Ain't no telling. But everything else, we gotta play New Orleans. We gotta play the Raiders. I'm sorry, the Rams.
Mhm.
Dallas.
Yo,
I mean,
think you
I
got
got y'all
Seattle.
7
We got
wins.
Seattle one
Arizona
more time,
and
don't
Seattle. Seattle's our last game.
Yeah.
you?
So yeah,
you
7 and
3 more
9, maybe
victories.
3 more, possibly
Yeah.
3 more.
Yep.
Yeah.
So real quick, last weekend before we take this break, Ravens Pats. I'm
Oh,
going with the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going with
Yeah,
Baltimore.
it's time for them to
Yeah.
kick some dirt on
Vikings Bears.
I'm going with Chicago.
Mm.
I'm gonna tell you
That's
what.
the
Well,
division. It's the
I'm going with Chicago
Man,
because they
Dalvin
are
Cook's
good
looking
against.
good right now.
They are good.
I'm going-
Chicago ain't bad against the run.
I'm gonna go with the Bears too, because Kirk Cousins stinks, in my opinion.
he does, but he's a front runner too. You
Yeah.
give him a lead, no pressure, he looks
Yeah,
good.
He
Yeah.
can get that.
And I'm just going off the hot hand of Cook. Dalvin Cook
Yep.
is ripping it
Yeah,
right
he
now.
running
He
right
is.
now.
I mean,
Absolutely.
so
So you going with Minnesota?
yeah.
All right. There you have it, folks. Your Week 10 picks from your SportsRap crew. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to do as much as we can. We're going to get you some NBA talk. We're going to talk a little Sixers, what we think about the draft, what we think about the hiring of Daryl Morey real quick, and the additions to the coaching staff of Doc Rivers. You are tuned in to SportsRap on Heat 100 Radio. We'll see you on the other side in just a few minutes.